let me hit you with a gut check question right now. If someone followed you around for a whole week, would they know what your core values are just by watching you live? Not what you post, not what you say at brunch with your friends, but by your actions, your calendar, your habits, your decisions. Let's talk about core values, the real ones, the ones you actually live by, or the ones you say you do, but you really don't. Welcome to Cut the BS, Build the Dream, the podcast for doers, dreamers, and those tired of their own excuses. I'm your host, Brittney Kosev, single mom, real estate broker, investor, entrepreneur, and forever student of the game. I went from librarian to leading a company, and I believe the best version of your life is built when you cut through the noise and get radically honest, take bold, aligned action, and live. Let's dive in. So core values are not just preferences. They're not your morals. They're not your personality quirks. They are non-negotiables that truly shape your life, your inner GPS. I love the book Traction by Gino Wickman. And in it, he says core values are the heart of any strong business. But the same is true for a strong life. They are so deeply personal and they're more adaptable than beliefs. They really can cut through the noise if you know what they are. So let me tell you mine. Here are my 8 core values, and maybe they'll spark something in you. Authenticity, discipline, connection, family, abundance, wealth, success, and adventure. Every major decision in my life and the small ones filters through those. So the thing is though, guys, life can be loud. There's pressure, there's distraction, there's comparison, opportunity overload. And so how do you cut through all of that? Well, you use your core values as a compass. Think about this. If authenticity is a value like mine is, you won't stay in a job or a relationship that forces you to be someone you're not. You'll leave. If family is a core value, your schedule should reflect that. Show me the time you're spending with them. If wealth is a value, are you learning about money? Are you investing, or are you just wishing? The late Jim Rohn, who I talk about all the time, says you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. Your values help you do just that. So let's play a game, right? Let's pretend that someone filmed your life for the last 7 days. The last week, someone followed you around with a camera nonstop. No edits, just raw footage. That's kind of scary, huh? Would your choices prove your values? Would they see discipline in your wake-up routine, your budgeting, your workout habits? Would they see connection in your phone calls, your presence at the dinner table, your friendships? Would they see abundance in how you treat people, talk about money, or give back? Here's the truth. Your stated values mean nothing if your actual life doesn't match. My business coach, James Henson, who has a fabulous podcast you guys should check out. It's called Walking Through Open Doors. He used to be my therapist, and then he became my life coach. And we talk a lot about core values. And he told me a story about a guy that said family was one of his core values, and God, and his relationship with God. And then he knew that that person was cheating on his wife and not spending time with his family. Guys, your stated values mean nothing if your actual life doesn't match. But here's the thing. Let's talk about something real that doesn't get said enough. Sometimes your values are going to clash. Let me say that again. Core values aren't always in harmony. They're not puzzle pieces that magically click together every single day. Let me give you an example. I'm a single mom. I deeply value family, being present with my kids, showing up for the school events. I like to do PTA, watching movies on the couch with them, just being with them. But I also value wealth, not just for the money, but because I want to create freedom, opportunity, a legacy for them. And sometimes that means I have to work late. Sometimes I miss bedtime. Sometimes I'm at a networking event while someone else is helping them with homework. That doesn't mean I'm out of alignment. It means that I'm making short-term trade-offs in service of long-term alignment. So if you ever feel guilty, if you ever feel like you're failing one value while pursuing another, you're not broken, you're just human. It's about balance, and balance isn't a daily equation. It's a seasonal rhythm. My kids know that when we do have dinner together, sometimes we don't. When we do, it's a phones away from the table moment. It is a let's get along, let's all talk and spend time together. I budget a weekly family night, whether it's taking my son to see Fantastic Four, which, by the way, that sucked. Well, it didn't suck, but they're living in a alternate Earth in the 60s, but also in like far future. I don't know. Anyway, it blew me away. I budget time for that, but then they also understand that mom's going to be working late. She's going to have networking events throughout the week. And it's like I said, it's a seasonal rhythm. The key is to stay aware, stay intentional, and keep asking, is this aligned with the bigger picture of who I want to be? And when you give yourself that grace and you zoom out, you'll see that the tension isn't failure, it's growth. So how do we actually live this out? Well, number one, you have to write them down. You have to make them visible. Your values don't belong just hidden inside of your head or in your journal, although I do have mine at the front of my journal for anybody that's watching this on YouTube. I have them right here, all beautiful and pretty. But you should have them somewhere you can see them often. Put them on your bathroom mirror, your fridge, your office wall. Keep them front and center. It just helps remember. It helps remind you. Number two, use them in goal setting. If adventure is a value like mine, book the trip, right? Try something new. Build a life that includes risk and reward. Labor Day weekend, my kids are going to be with their dad, and I'm going to take a trip to Tulum for a wealth and wellness mastermind. You know, that's me living out my adventure value. It's important to me. If discipline is a value, set a structure, stick to it. All right, number three, make decisions with them. Every yes or no should be filtered through your values. They will help simplify decision fatigue. You won't need to know what you should always be doing if you live by your values. And number four, evaluate your relationships and your career. Who in your life supports your values? Who drains them? What about your career? Is it in conflict with what matters most to you? And then number five, recommit regularly. Life is going to shift. So should your reflection process. Revisit your values every quarter. And sometimes they're going to change. Ask, am I living in alignment? What's changed? What needs a reset? If you do those steps, guys, you will make it simple for yourself. Living in alignment with your core values, it's going to do so many great things for you. It's going to create fulfillment. You're going to stop feeling empty because your outer life now matches your inner world. It's going to give you confidence. It's going to let you walk taller when you're walking in the truth of your value system. And like I said, it's going to give you clarity. When you filter decisions through your core values, decisions become easier. It's also going to give you better relationships. You attract people who respect your path. If they don't belong in your core value system, then it's going to be easy to say no to friendships, relationships that don't align. And you're going to have less regret because you acted with integrity. You know why people feel stuck? Let me tell you, it's because they're living a life that irritates their values. There was this thing I read, I think it was the Positivity Experience, and they said that you run a risk of making decisions that conflict with your authentic self when you're not leading with your values. And that's going to lead to confusion, dissatisfaction, all of it. And so let me ask you again, do your values match your actions? Can you state your values? You should have 3 to 5, I have 8 core values that you know. If someone said, what are your values? You should be able to pop them off. You don't need to overhaul your life today, but you do need to start paying attention, because the most powerful shift you're ever going to make, it isn't external. No, it's internal clarity. So write them down, live them out, revisit them often, and when in doubt, filter everything through them. Because when you live like you mean it, you're going to build a life that means something. Thanks for tuning in to Cut the BS, Build the Dream. If this episode lit a fire, do me a favor, leave a review, share with a friend, and maybe let me know what values guide your life. I'll leave you with this question to reflect on. How do you cut the BS to get closer to your dream? This is Brittney Kosev. Have a great day.